fans, welcome back to a brand new episode of The Dry Dock, the series where myself and the gorgeous Captain Goodwill, aka Mike number 2, where we go through the Fanhome Model of the Month, is what I'm now going to call it, the Fanhome Model of the Month. This month, it's a ship that I've really been looking forward to, but also a little bit hesitant after the most recent of screw-ups, shall we just say. But of course, it is the Exile USS Enterprise NCC 1701G, the Constitution 3 from Star Trek Picard. And oh my God, she is gorgeous. But
I've looked forward to this for so long because whenever you get a new Enterprise, any avid collector goes, we must have this one. Yep. And this has been 2 years now, waiting patiently for someone to make it. Oh, my goodness.
So, before we talk about the ups, the downs, the ins and outs, let's talk about the experience, because I think it's going to be really nice and quick.
Yeah.
This week, for both this month, Yodel were perfect. Mine arrived a day early. Yours arrived a day early. Yours arrived straight to your door. Mine arrived straight to my door. No problems, no fuck-ups. 5 out of 5.
Honestly, it was just flawless throughout.
Absolutely.
We both got. It was a rare occasion where the planets aligned, and we both got distribution notices the same day.
Yep.
So it was a race to who would get theirs first. And obviously, me being a very handsome and beautiful Northerner, I got my ship first, and then a few hours later, Mike number 1.
Or is it a case that you live in such a dive and you're really close to the depot that you're one of the first on the van?
So
I'm joking.
No, you're right. But it arrived straight to the door, photograph taken, big, handsome box with a big box.
Yes.
That contained a free gift.
Hallelujah.
Oh,
one of
them.
One of them. He's still waiting on the others, but we get in there slowly but surely.
I received the Ractor Genome mug, which is deceivingly smaller than the rest of the run that we had on the Eagle Moss days, but I got a free gift nonetheless. So thank you,
finally,
Fanhome. All I need now is the rest of them. But
it's just the LCARs.
But we've still got ones going forward as well.
Yeah. No, we're still waiting on the LCARs.
We're still waiting on the LCARs, but free gifts are coming. The ship arrived. It was beautifully packaged, no damage whatsoever. Arrived when it said it was going to arrive. It was just 5 out of 5. Flawless this month.
Nice, quick and easy intro then for that one.
Yep.
So let's jump into the complete and utter clusterfuck that is the magazine. Pardon my French. So... because obviously Mr. Goodwill had received his prior to mine, and also he then turned around to me about an hour before mine arrived, and he goes, "Oh my God, what are they on?" And I thought, "Oh God, here we go." I won't tell you what it is. See if you can find it. So mine arrives, and I open up the front cover, and I go, "Oh, that's nice and streaky, lovely." Second page, oh, that's even streakier than the first. Okay. When we get to the next page, 4 to 5, when I can't even read some of the words on this page because it's so streaky. Oh, look, the orthos. They look wonderful, but they're streaky. And then for some reason, we get to pages 8 and 9, which have already got a little bit of black on them, and they're fine. I have no idea. Anywho, so print quality is I'm now just going to call it, it is the same crap we've had for the last 8 issues. So I'm going to stop going on and on and on about print quality because there's just no point, because it's going to be the same crap served up in a different way every month.
It feels like there is an issue with the machines.
Yeah,
they are using.
No, I don't think it is. So when it comes to print, there's a couple of like exceptional printers, right? HP Indigo is one of them. If you print on an Indigo, you will get flawless print every time, because the printer itself has got so many safeguards in place that, yes, it is a downside, but when you get to a third of your ink cartridges, it will then start printing at a slower rate, so you don't run out of ink when you're printing these things. These are not printed on indigo. I can guarantee you that. They're to be fair, they're probably printed on Canon because they are cheap, fast printers, and that's what it looks like to me. Purely because Canon are renowned for being streaky with very dark pages. But also, I don't think these are being printed by the same people that print the DeAgostini magazines, the proper magazines that you'd buy in a shop, because everything about them is different. So I literally, again, I've said this a few times, I think it's just gone out to the cheapest bidder.
I think it has. When we look at the Eagle Moss magazines, they were glossy, they were durable. The picture quality.
I mean, the Star Trek logo is pixelated on this.
Oh, let's have a look.
I have only just noticed it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, you are absolutely right. That is a very that is an enlarged logo.
Yeah, is it? No, it's the same size on the others.
But no, what I mean is it's pixelated.
Oh, yeah, they've taken a small image and just stretched the shit out of it.
It's enlarged. You know, I've come to expect this now from these runs of magazines, to the point where I'm no longer phased because I know they're not going to change it.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of like, I'm used to it. Look, we get these collections for the ships. The magazine is a 20-minute distraction to fill us full of facts we may or not have known, and that's it, right? I would be happy if there was a reduction in cost of the collection and it was just the ships and not the magazine.
I have a feeling, but the magazine is a stipulation from Paramount.
Potentially.
Because it just seems odd that Eagle Moss had the exact same format. I would preferably rather just have a PDF to download. I would rather keep the price the same, but give me a PDF to download.
Yeah.
Because then I'll go and get it printed on an Indigo. And I'll have a really nice printed version with a nice thick glossy cover and I'll just print my own. But alternatively, just give me a PDF, because obviously we read the magazines, we enjoy the magazines when they're factually correct, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I would just much rather have a PDF, to be honest. And you could probably shrink, especially if you take last month's issue where, 2/3 of the pages are pointless. I would much rather have a 4-page PDF to that than a 15-page PDF that's just full of fluff.
It kind of just feels redundant.
Yeah.
It feels like an afterthought. When, we are receiving fantastic models, I would just be happy with the model itself. Give me the option to, maybe, if you want a print, maybe pay a little bit extra. If you don't want the print, we'll just give it as a PDF.
Offer it as like a button, like an add-on item. So, like, issue 1, I'd really like that printed. Add it as an add-on option, and it'll arrive in issue 2.
Yeah,
and just do it that way, or just because I believe the original plan was there were going to be PDFs available.
Yes, there were going to be PDFs
correctly.
Very, very much like the Eagle Moss ones, but the quality bounces so much with this run.
It's almost like it depends whereabouts in the print cycle, like how many have been printed before it actually, depending on, it makes the change in quality.
But I'd be very interested to hear from our viewers to see if they're also receiving the same quality of magazines.
Yep.
Because, I mean, look, you're paying through the nose for this collection. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Up the quality a little bit when it comes to the magazines, and let's up the quality of the factual information, which we will get to later on.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's briefly sort of touch on that. So, I mean, initially flicking through this magazine, I thought, oh, okay, doesn't seem to be anything too major here. It's all imagery we've all seen before.
Yeah.
We've all seen many times before.
Which we knew was going to happen when we saw the Titan, and we knew that we were going to recycle it.
See, I think an issue like this is almost pointless having a magazine, because actually in universe, nothing actually happens to the Titan, and between the end of Frontier Day and it becoming rechristened as the Enterprise G, nothing has happened. It's had a minor refit and repair from the mission previously.
Yeah,
and
1
it
year
sat in
back.
space dock for a year. So
Yeah.
it's not like there's a whole mission or anything that needs to be talked about. We're now literally just regurgitating. Well, let me rephrase that. We should be regurgitating the same content as issue 1, but maybe with a few extra tweaks to talk about what happened in Frontier Day. Instead, what we have got is a magazine that contradicts itself a dozen times and just
blatantly lies,
making up crap again. So,
and the other thing as well is, I am a strong advocate that we get the Shangri-La class Titan that we saw in the observation lounge that Bill Krause designed. God, it's over 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
But Bill Krause designed it. It was the inspiration for the Connie 3, and the design lineage is that was the original Titan, then there was the Luna class, then the Connie 3. So it would make sense in this collection to have a complete run of the Titans. So
even if it was a special,
if it was a special issue,
a special issue or a gift.
But what they've done is shoot themselves in the foot, because if that comes with a magazine, you are again going to have to regurgitate what has been in this magazine.
Yeah,
because a large part of this is not about the Enterprise G. It is about designing the Connie 3, i.e., the Titan, for Star Trek Picard.
Yeah, and it's almost taken like, shit, what did we miss out of issue 1 that people have moaned about?
Yeah.
We'll throw that in here to fill it. And that's literally what it... And then they've just made up crap. So on pages 4, which talks about the overview of the ship, we talk about it was the 8th Federation vessel to bear the name. It was previously known as the Titan. It's got... main bridge on deck 1 is 560.5 meters long. Deflector is on deck 2226, blah, 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 blah. All the usual kind of bits. And then we get to the very, very last paragraph. And for his first mission, it left Earth space dock on a shakedown cruise under Seven's command with Raffi Musica, brackets, who served on the Enterprise E, end brackets, as her first officer. Now then, we have done our due diligence. I have asked people that way more knowledgeable about Raffi Musica especially, and no one has managed to find any kind of information anywhere that states that Raffi served on the Enterprise E.
She was on his starbase before being reassigned to Starfleet headquarters to head up the task force for the Romulan evacuation.
Yep, which is where she met Picard.
I read this, because obviously I got the ship before Mike number 1. So I'm reading this, and I've sat there and I'm going, how bad is my attention span for Star Trek Picard?
That I didn't know that she served on the E?
That I didn't know that she was on the E. So I'm sat there and I'm going, right, okay, so Riker left the Enterprise E because he headed up the Titan that was part of the Romulan task force. So then there was a gap between Picard leaving to do the Romulan evacuation and Riker leaving. So who was the first officer? Well, it couldn't have been Raffi because they never mentioned it, but I thought it was that dude who was a Mako in Enterprise, because in the deleted scene in Nemesis, he was the first officer, and then they're going about seatbelts and we're all so funny. But that can't be the case. But then Raffi wasn't in there because Raffi was based on Starbase, I believe, 39 before she was going. So what's going on? And I'm sat and I went, no, this is wrong. And I straight away went on Memory Alpha.
Yep.
And there was no mention of this.
And there's nothing on Memory Beta either.
Now, Fanhome. I'm appealing to you directly on this. If there is no information to put in a certain paragraph, if you've got no information or you need to fill it, don't just make it up.
Yeah.
Because making stuff up annoys Trekkies so much.
Also, Fanhome, to be blunt, you don't have the right to try and add to canon.
No.
Which is essentially what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Now, I think the other thing that also I feel a little bit sorry for here is a certain person's name who's on the inside of the front cover, who is a Star Trek oracle in himself, which is Ben Robinson, who is labelled on every single one of these as project manager. So it's not just Fanhome's name that's getting tarnished here, it's Ben's name
Ben.
as well. Because in theory, now I know that Ben doesn't have too much to do with this, but in theory, it's making it look like that he's working for Fanhome or with Fanhome on every single one of these things. And actually, he's just flat out making shit up to fill a magazine. And that's how it looks to the general public.
And we are not here to consistently bash on the information in the magazine.
No.
We read the magazine because we want to know little tidbits, little facts about these ships, the design, the process, or anything like that. And as Trekkies, you know, we like the nitty gritty. We like the minutiae.
Yep.
But it is so easy for us to identify when something is made up. Like the Titan last month, Rear Admiral William Riker never existed. So why is it there? Raffi was not on the Enterprise E. So why is it there? Why would you had no point, no reason, no justification at all to add that little sentence in open brackets to the last paragraph of that. You could have just literally
left it,
removed that and left it.
Or just removed that one little bracket. The fact that it did go on its shakedown cruise with Raffi as first officer and 709 as captain.
My only reasoning is there is a specific word count that they have to adhere to. And if that's the case, don't make stuff up. Just use Trek facts, Trek tech. Do something to fill that out, because I guarantee you go to Doug, Bill, Dave, Liz, you go to these people about these ships and they will bombard you with all the technical knowledge. Go to Mike number 1. Right? Go to Mike number 1 and he will tell you how many stem bolts are in the deck plating if you are so desperate for word count. Come on.
But also...
It would be canon. It would be canon, and it's straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. But also at the same time, Paramount on you. You're signing these off.
Yeah.
So surely somebody somewhere must be picking this stuff up and ignoring it.
It's not like Doctor Who. It's not like Star Wars. Star Trek and Trekkies are passionate because they like facts, they like figures, they like the details, the finer details. And the fact that there's a worrying trend in the magazines emerging that you are just making stuff up is not going to go down well with the people who purchase these magazines. And it makes me worried for the rest of the collection. What are you going to say about the Excelsior 2? What are you going to say about the Prodigy? Protostar. Yeah. Exactly. And it's just, I don't know. I know it's such a trivial thing, but it kind of isn't.
Well, no, it's not. Because, I mean, if you were to buy a Good House magazine, for example, and they've turned around and said, this air purifier can sit upside down on the ceiling and make you a cup of coffee, and it doesn't, you're going to be super pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's exactly the same thing.
These magazines are for people that love starships. These magazines should be full to the brim of every single design tidbit, inspiration, knowledge, everything about the ship. All you have to do is go to these designers and go, yes, you know, Doug can sit there and go, well, the reason why we went back to the retro sources was because the angular ships would be prone to flipping in atmosphere. Do something like that where you will get canonized or even beta canonized information to fill these magazines up, and the fans will eat it up something rotten because they know it's come straight from these gods' mouth. Yeah,
exactly. So anywho, so there's that. So that's pages 4 and 5. 6 and 7 are your usual orthos, which are they are slightly different to the ones for the Titan. So it does look like these are a different a updated texture on the 3D model.
It does show the USS Enterprise as the name. So yes, they are different. Titan.
Hold on a second. So then when we get to the next page, now there is a gorgeous picture of a Constitution 3 class. And on the label for the message, on the label for the image, it says Doug Drexler's CG model of the USS Titan was a digital copy of the physical model Bill Krause made for Star Trek Picard showrunner Terry Tallis. Great. So why have they photoshopped out every piece of ship registry?
Now, I'm looking at the side of the... I'm going old man style now. I'm looking at the side of the saucer because there is, next to the docking port on either side, as the old Connies and stuff like that, blah, 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 United
Federation of Planets.
I think that just says Titan A, but I can't be sure.
Think it's Starship.
Is it just says Starship?
I have no idea. It's not on the model. Oh, hang on. No, hang on. It is on the model. Yeah, it says Starship Titan because on the model it says Starship USS Enterprise and the text spans all the way to the airlock. So, but they've removed the name and registry from the nacelles. They've removed the name and registry from the underside of the saucer section.
Why?
Why?
Was it on there originally on this model? So why?
Yeah, I have no idea. So that confused the shit out of me. And then most of this page is fluff because it's all just regurgitated stuff that Bill has already said on various other places and that's in issue 1. Hang on, I'm just going to grab it.
And this is the thing. This is where they could get into the minutiae of the technology of the Constitution 3. They could have brought in Doug. They could have brought in the Yakudas. They could have brought something in to go, hey, we had the Titan. Here's how we redesigned, I don't know, the bridge layout for the Enterprise G. We changed the consoles. So they said Enterprise G, and we got a new plaque, and we did this, and we did this. They could have, instead of regurgitating, they could have took a different angle to go, okay, so this ship was going to get rechristened and it was originally going to be this name, but then we changed it to this name because it's more symbolic, and here's how we did it at last minute, or here's how we redid this and redid. They could have just added extra stuff instead of just Control-C and V-ing issue 1.
Well, it's not. I mean, I am looking. I mean, it's the page is titled almost exactly the same. Designing the USS Titan NCC 78001002A. And it says the Titan was the return of the earliest style Starfleet ship that's inspired by Star Trek: The Motion Picture. And then it goes, the design of the Enterprise E has its origins to a fan-built model, the USS Shangri-La, that made it a decade earlier with no idea of the rolling back plane in Star Trek history. But most of the copy on here is exactly the same. Sorry, no, it's just, it looks like it's been put into ChatGPT, rewritten, and also the font size is bigger.
It's
just full of fluff. And you can tell it's been written by ChatGPT as well.
They could have just reached out to any of the production team and just approached this article with a different, okay, guys, we've covered the Titan A, so let's cover how they changed everything from the Titan A to the Enterprise G. What the reasoning was, why do you know what I mean? And just go through it. That don't get me wrong, it's fantastic to hear from Bill.
Oh, absolutely. Bill is lovely. We like Bill.
If I ever win the lottery, the commissioning he's going to get from me, model-wise, will be through the roof because he is an amazing builder. Absolutely. But they could have reached out to so many other people involved in Picard Season 3 for this.
I mean, they could have reached out to Doug. They could have reached out to Sean at VFX, who actually modified the VFX model. I mean, there's so many people they could have spoken to. Yeah. But anywho, so those 2 pages are kind of a bit of a write-off a little bit. It's just regurgitated stuff we've seen before. Now, the only nice thing about page 10 is we do get some hand-drawn sketches, which I've never seen before. So these look like they were Bill's early version for the Shangri-La, which I really like. And then it has a cutaway, which is really interesting. If you look at the side profile of the Shangri-La, it does look like that it has a much thicker neck. A longer neck, sorry, it sticks out more.
Yeah, when I was looking at this, I was kind of taken aback by it when I was looking at it because the neck on the... So for those that don't know, in Star Trek Online, Bill's design is now in Star Trek Online. You can actually purchase the Shangri-La class in Star Trek Online. And when I was looking at the silhouette on page 10, I thought, "Man, that is almost spot on to what's on Star Trek Online." And then I looked at the dorsal spine. I went, no, the neck is actually way
longer,
thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thicker
like
and it's longer.
Stretched slightly or horizontally.
Yeah, and I'm sort of like, it just, yeah.
But
like,
from what I can understand, is Bill hand drew that after he made the model. So it could just be a case of that he got the proportions slightly wrong. Or was it a case that initially the Shangri-La did have a longer neck, but it was then sort of reined in a little bit? Because obviously, don't forget, when you compare the Shangri-La to the Connie 3, you obviously have the infills on the saucer, the hull, the top of the saucer where it bends into the neck is a lot thicker.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's just that just kind of shrunk it in a bit. I mean, I've only ever seen a few photos of the actual Shangri-La model, so I can't.
Well, the thing is, as well, the original Shangri-La model is vastly different to the Shangri-La model that Terry got from Bill, and that's in Star Trek Online. So if you look at page 11, that is the original Shangri-La. Now, the differences are, obviously, the inlays at the back of the saucer aren't there.
Yeah.
The nacelles, Constitution class nacelles, they are not Shangri-La nacelles.
No,
because the Shangri-La nacelles have sloped facade ram scoops.
Yeah, these are motion picture.
Yeah, and they don't have the rear fins at the end of the nacelles as well. So when you see the modified version
on the next page, which has the new Shangri-La nacelles, it has the infills. So I think that model there that is in the magazine is actually the first version of the model that he built for Terry. Well, it is a version, but I think Terry looked at that and said, actually, what if you did X, Y, and Z? And that is what spurred on the rest of the development for the Connie 3.
Yeah.
Because you can see that it's got the infills for the saucer section, but it also has the extra inlays in those infills because it's almost 3 tiers, isn't it?
Well, even the article, the little quote on page 12 says, since Krause had stole the original model of the Shangri-La, he agreed to make a new one for Terry Metalis. He had a lot of time to think about the design in the intervening years, so made some changes. Most obviously, he altered the design of the cutout at the back of the saucer section. So I think when Terry asked for the model, Bill has gone back and just said, well, I can improve this, I can improve this, and I can improve this. This is the signs of a great model maker, because you look at the tiny little details that he has made, and the fact that he was looking at the hangar bay doors at the rear shuttle bay, and he was trying out different shuttle bays, and the way that he's, because you look at the if you look at the pylons on page 11 and then compare them to the pylons on page 12, he's also made them thicker. So he's sort of narrowed them in the middle and then stretched them
flared them out a bit more.
Flared them, yeah. And the one thing, I mean, this is the one thing I love. The Enterprise A is my all-time favorite starship, because for me that is a timeless design.
Yeah.
And the one thing I love is how the nacelles are slanted back, and it gives it such an angular, speedy look. And
it's almost that kind of a bit hot. I'm not going to say hot rod, because just people are instantly going to go, "Oh, 2009." No. But if you
not a hot rod.
But it kind of has that kind of sports car elegance.
It's more vector design.
Yeah.
It's more like it's a symbol of speed. And when you look at the revised Shangri-La, he's sort of taken that to the next level to go, this ship is smaller, but it is so powerful that they have to sort of thicken the pylons to keep the nacelles on, but then bolting on the extra impulse engines on the saucer and stuff. This is a ship designed for maneuverability and speed.
Those inlays, because if you look at the photo on 12, you've obviously got the saucer inlays, which are a bit curvier, I would say. They're a bit rounded on the outside, and they also have this extra piece in the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that initially they were done as a kind of more of a decorative thing. And then some evolution came around, was actually like, no, let's strip them out. Let's make them additional impulse engines.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. But no, I really like, that's a nice photo. I like that. Now, we get to the next page and we have the next fluff up, which is the Constitution 3 class USS Tita 80102.
Dash.
Well, just about a dash. It's not quite fully a dash.
I do love the USS Titan.
Yes,
it is one of my favorite.
I can't work out what the hell's happened here, because they've got the original graphic. They've just got to go to Doug's Facebook page and find the original graphic. It looks like some prats tried to scan it in, and it's missed the corner off. Because the other thing I also noticed is all of the bright spots are very bright.
The ram scoops are quite bright.
Yeah, it literally looks like someone's tried to scan it in.
For some reason as well, as weird as it is, look at the ventral image of the Titan. How wonky is the registration number?
Yeah. It's just,
so
that's why I'm wondering if it was a scan or something, because it's
now the thing is with this image, right? This image would have been flawlessly perfect for pages 6 and 7, because you could enlarge it, you could actually read what the diagrams are telling you is this. I have got bad eyes.
Really?
I am just seeing white lines. I am not seeing anything at all. I can hang on. I can't see. Oh, I can see the word RCS thrusters. It's so incredibly small.
I know. It just doesn't make any sense.
Why have that?
But also, why even put it there? We've seen this image before. It's in issue 1.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't. Again, we're just filling for the sake of filling. And then we get on to the last page, which again is 2/3 filler, which has got 2 images that everyone has seen a million times before, which are the early like in-universe renders that John Eves and Doug Drexler put together. Concept art, that's the word I was looking for. Which I'm pretty sure are... there's a slightly different version used in the...
Now...
In the Titan.
Now,
but
I
also,
know...
They don't even have the right ship registry on them.
I know we only saw the Enterprise G briefly at the end of Star Trek Picard. However, there is this thing, if you work with Paramount, called screenshots. You could have used so many more screenshots of the bridge, of the ship orbiting the star right at the end.
Or you just go, hi, Dave Blass. Please can I use some of your photos that you took, because they're wonderful. You know, or do they just go to the Roddenberry archive and get the 3D model and screenshot the 3D model? I mean, there are so many ways that they could have done this. Anyway, we could speak for hours and hours and hours on this.
Yeah.
And then we have a photo of the Enterprise G plaque.
Yeah.
Which is different from the Titan plaque, before anybody goes, because some of the names were changed and things were moved around. Because if I remember correctly, Dave Blass is now an admiral, whereas before originally he was under ops, if I remember correctly. But that's a nice touch, but I would have much rather have just had that image full width and not had the 2 NAF concept arts that we've all seen before.
We don't need to see the concept art. Let me just go through this, because I just want to confirm something. Whether or not we are officially seeing... Right, so, okay. Right. In the entire 15 pages of this magazine, there is 1 screenshot from the actual episode.
Yeah, which is on the last page.
Why?
Why have we not got more?
Yeah, it makes no sense. Why have we not got all, like, the amount of exterior shots that you could taken? We could have got loads of them. We could have got shots of the bridge. We could have got shots of Jack Crusher.
Well, we could have even had a tiny little paragraph about the fact that Q pops up at the end. on the Enterprise G.
I just don't get it. I really don't get the logic behind the layout of the magazine and why in a magazine about the Enterprise G, 95% of the images are the Titan.
Or their early concepts which show Shangri-La Registry. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on the magazine because we could just go on and on and on and on and on, and we'll just
just need to improve.
Fanhome, hire a Trekkie. That's what you need to do. Hire a Trekkie that knows what they're talking about and just get them to proofread. Heck, I'll proofread this for a free issue every month. You know what I mean? There are so many Trekkies out there that would love to just be part of it and get a free issue. You wouldn't even have to pay them.
Yeah, this is, this is what we love. This is what we live. Trek is love. Trek is life. All you'd have to do is go to a Trekkie like Mike #1 and say, hey, is this information correct? Yes. Great. No, you shouldn't be making that up. Yeah, why is Riker a rear admiral? Yeah, okay, we'll take that out. That's all you need. It costs you absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so the magazine's going to get 3 for me. It's not. It's going to get 2.5 actually. It's going to get 2.5.
2 for me.
2.5. 2. Okay.
The quality. Look, the quality is not good. It is really not good. The content is regurgitated or made up, and for a magazine about the Enterprise G, it is 95% about the Titan again.
Yeah, which is all stuff that we've had 3 issues. This is now the 3rd issue of.
Yeah,
because the last issue also had a load of regurgitated stuff about the Connie 3, which again I don't understand because it was not about the Connie 3; it was about the Lunar class. Anywho, let's talk about the main event.
Yes.
The stand. No. Well, yes, let's talk about the stand. Stand. It stands.
It is.
It stands. It's nice and sturdy. It doesn't wobble. Yep. There's no flex. It fits like a glove. I'm happy. Yep. No stand. I didn't have to glue this one together.
It is. For a weighty model, this is a very good supporting stand.
I'm just going to grab my Titan.
Titan?
Oh, I'm going to drop my Titan.
Oh, no. Disaster strikes.
She's fine. Whilst I sit on my Titan, because my chair is also a Titan, which is kind of ironic. Everything's a Titan in my life. Well, I'm just going to quickly dust it because it hasn't been dusted for a couple of weeks. And before I show it on camera, I just want to give it a little clean. So it does look like that. Shock to nobody. The stand is a complete and utter clone, just gone times 1.2 on the printer. Fine, great. Now then, model. It's exactly the same construction as the Titan, which again, not a bad thing. My only bugbear with both the Connie 3 and both Connie 3 models, and I'll show it on the Enterprise.
I think I know what he's going to say.
Just some of the gaps. We have a rather large gap between the saucer and the secondary hole in the neck. My Titan is exactly the same. And also, this one seems to have exacerbated it even more. But where the top of the secondary hole glues on to the... come on, camera, figure it out. There we go, there. You can see where it's above the pylons. There's a massive gap there as well. It's just a bit annoying. It's just a fit and finish thing. I mean, it would have been nice to... put it together and also the Aztecing is still missing in the exact same place as it was on the others, which is obviously on that side. Which again, it's a singular piece. These are pieces that are. So after the comments we made about the first issue with missing Aztecing on bits, we said, it's probably down to the fact that they couldn't do it because the model was being assembled. Fine, but actually, when you think about it, there is no reason why they could not paint the individual pieces. Because none of the glue is on any of the external edges. There are pins inside here, or posts and pins inside here that click together, and they are where the glue is. So it's not like you've got to worry about glue seeping out the sides. And if that's the case, then the nacelles wouldn't be getting in the way, and there's no good reason then to why the Aztecing is missing on that top part of that neck behind the impulse engines.
Yeah.
And it's the issue is exacerbated more on a bigger model. Because it's even more noticeable because it's a bigger model. Now, the only other really annoying thing with this is some people, I don't have this issue, but I've seen a lot of people online have had massive problems with the centering of 1701G and USS Enterprise. Now, my USS Enterprise is slightly too far to the right, only by a little bit, so it doesn't quite fit perfectly on the line.
Mine is,
because for me, the panel line that goes through the 0 should line up with the gap between the S and the E, but mine actually lines up with the start of the S, so it's just slightly over too far to the right.
Mine aligns fine.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit hit and miss for some people more than others. But some people have had it really bad where the actual 1701G is like almost on those black lines.
Underneath, that is, I mean, the alignment on the registry underneath is
fine.
perfect.
Yeah, it's fine there. So I don't quite know why or what happened.
I absolutely love, though, the paint that they have used for the phaser cannons and the RTS thrusters on this model. It is like a bronze.
Yeah, it's slightly metallic as well.
And slightly metallic, and the way it shines. And they've also like the transporter emitters, the gold that they've used for the transporter emitters as well. It's got a nice shine to it. This is a model, I think, that deserves proper lighting.
Yeah, but, I mean, there are some. But I have a lot of buts.
Yeah, it deserves proper lighting. If the windows were not completely and utterly misaligned on
and they
everything,
are terribly misaligned
on everything except the rim of the saucer.
Yes. Now, on that note, I mean, it's either the worst bits are the sides of the top of the saucer.
Engineering hull,
entire centimeter out of whack. Yeah,
there.
Now, the only other problem that I have, and I might actually have to reach out to Fanhome on this one, because in my mind, it's not acceptable. The top of the bridge dome is missing paint for me. The grey sections behind it are not painted properly. There's gaps around them.
Really?
Yeah, look. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up.
What's missing from the top?
You can see, look, if you look there, the paint doesn't fill the oval.
Oh, my God.
And then if you look at the stripes at the back, you can see where they're not even lined up properly and they're bleeding in, and the inner parts have got white gaps around them.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah.
Which is just, in my eyes, that's just not acceptable. It's because, I mean, to be fair, it's exactly the same on the Titan, and I never noticed it. So, okay, maybe it's just a limitation of the molds.
But.
Oh, they still missed the impulse engine on the.
I was about to say, we need to address that.
Bloody impulse engines! I tell you what, before we get on to impulse engines, the rest of the secondary hull, all the windows, are completely and utterly foobarred.
Yeah.
The nacelles are nice, although the Passat collectors are orange instead of red.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, other than that, the rest of the paint, should I say, minus the engines, which we're going to talk about in a second, I think is okay. It's not great. And look, I know I'm rabbiting on a little bit about it. These are commercially made models, but they are £70. They are not cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember Model Zone?
Oh, I remember Model Zone very well. Yeah.
Yeah. If this was in Model Zone, they would have pulled it.
Yeah, because I know when it comes to window misalignment, I know it has been a common thing dating all the way back to the Eagle Moss days. Yep. It's how they are made. It's how they are pressed.
I'm pretty confident they're using the same damn factory.
Yeah, well, they must be. But when the costs are increasing, when the prices of these ships are increasing, try and look at upping the quality a little bit. And when, look, we got the Titan in November, issue 1.
Yeah, I want to say November.
So it's been 8 months. Okay, so you've had 8 months. The big criticism we had of the Titan when it came out was the rear impulse engine. It's bright orange. It's fully orange. Why is it fully orange? And we said,
it's only the outer parts of that, essentially the bits with lines on that are supposed to be orange. Why the Bazaar collectors are supposed to be red? Why are they? And these are. And to be fair, you said they're going to change it, and I said no, they won't. And
I had hope that they would listen to feedback and maybe make the amendments based on people saying this is slightly wrong, and they've just enlarged the size.
No, they probably won't. Do you know why they probably won't? Because this is what Paramount signed off, and as this is essentially a reprint at 1.2% scale, they won't have had to sign this off, other than the changes they would have made in the registry. And that is probably why. It's probably because that's what was signed off, and to go through the sign-off process is a pain. That's what it'll be.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, red tape.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
But, so, look, other than the Bazaar collectors being the wrong colour, now, I have actually seen there's a bloke on Facebook who's already made water decals for both the deflector dish and for the rear impulse engines. I'm umming and ahhing about buying them for the Enterprise G purely because they're going to be easier to fit than they are on the Titan.
I considered it, but where this is on the wall of bankruptcy, you are not going to see the rear of it.
No,
so
same here.
I'm sort of, it's fine. It's annoying.
Yes,
but for now, it's fine.
Mine is literally sitting next to the Enterprise F over here because, annoyingly, my shelves are not big enough to fit them on because the models are too long.
I'm running out of space. I'm going to be honest. I have got 2 shelves left. So
my entire lower shelf at the moment, which has got everything up until the Lunar class on it, is now full. The shelf above it has the Shenzhou, Strange New Worlds Enterprise, Lower Decks Titan, the Cerritos, and La Serena. And then above that is non-Star Trek. It has the Daedalus, the Atlantis Gate, and the big pyramid. I can't remember what it's called.
You need a bigger house.
But I have got some white bookshelves, and I'm umming and ahhing about boxing up a load of the old Discovery model collection and replacing them with these when they. That's what I'll probably end up doing, because there's probably only about 2 or 3 from the previous collections of this size that I actually really like, and they're currently sitting on the shelf over there. So
I will probably move more of my alien ships somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the Klingon vessels from Discovery. They can probably all go in the box. I'm not a massive fan of the Charon. I literally bought it for £10 at Destination Star Trek in 2020 because it was there, and I thought it was £10. Why not? And then you've also got the Star Trek Universe collection, haven't you? Which has then got the Romulan vessels from Picard Season 1, which I wasn't a massive fan of. I'm not a massive fan of the Zhang He either. It's okay, but I would rather sacrifice that space to put the Enterprise G, for example.
Yeah.
But yeah, so look, I think the model's nice. It's one of those things that is something that we've all been cracking on about for a very long time, and I am glad we have her. I just wished that somebody other than Fanhome made it. If I'm honest, I think if Master Replicas had made it, looking at what they've done with the Stargate ships, I think this collection would have been something very different.
This is going to show my age.
I don't want Corgi going anywhere near it because it'll end up with an arsehole.
I'm not even going to address Corgi with their blue dorsal spars. When it comes to the hero ships, for me, and I know they're not as highly detailed, but the Diamond Select line knocked it out of the park. They were perfectly scaled. Yes,
Yep.
they were, they were plastic. They had LED lights, but for
But
a
you know what?
hero ship,
I don't mind having a plastic model.
I don't. I
I
genuinely
don't
do.
understand why everyone gets so bent up about them. Oh, they have to be die-cast aluminium or die-cast or
No, they
die-cast.
don't.
Why?
They
Some of the
don't.
best models you can buy are plastic.
I look at my Diamond Select ships, and it is for me. It is a great pain. It is a huge pain that Diamond Select lost the license when they were on the cusp of making the Enterprise C and the
Here we go
Reliant.
again. Here we go again.
It breaks my heart, okay? But I look at them and I go, if I have to buy it's the Enterprise. You have to have the Enterprise in your collection. For me, I would have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G
Mm.
in the Diamond Select scale because those are the hero ships. We will probably never get them in that scale. But for me, this is the only way we're going to get the Enterprise G unless you buy a Hallmark ornament or you buy a Polar Lights model. And I'm
even the
addicted to
Hallmark
caffeine. I can't
ornaments.
paint.
I know, but even the Hallmark ornaments, which are, I would probably say, about the same size as the Titan, they might be a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Don't have the window misalignment. Don't have, the problems that these have, and they're a third of the price.
And they light up.
And they light up. So I just don't. I don't understand where the money has gone. Now it could be franchise fees. Absolutely, it could be franchise fees. I mean, you look at Lego. I mean, a Harry Potter Lego set will cost you double to what a normal Lego set will cost you because of the franchise fees.
You just wait until the Lego Enterprise D gets released.
Well, there was some news about that today coming out, so I won't spoil that one for anybody else. But no, I think, look, it's just they got it right with the Titan in so many places. Windows were really well aligned. There were a couple of niggles, such as the engines and the Beside collectors, but actually, as a whole, the Titan model is a really, really good model. And then it looks like whoever was in charge of QC has obviously left, and now we've got Enterprise G models with everything that is just completely out of whack. And
they
it's a
could have
shame.
solved this. They could have solved this really easily with the mold if they did not put the inlays for the windows.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, at the same time, there's no real reason why they shouldn't line up anyway. If it's pad printing, it doesn't matter about the.
If you've got an issue with the printing,
well,
that is the way around it. If you fix the printing issue, we wouldn't.
But then that could be the problem. Is that could be down from the 3D model. If they won't have the ability to edit the 3D model.
I mean, you know more about this than I do, but it is a frustration.
They won't be allowed to make changes to the 3D model. Essentially, what they would have got, the 3D model from Paramount, and then the only changes that would have been made is slicing it up to be able to make it into molds. And to be fair to them, you will probably find that Fanhome didn't even do that. It would be the factory that did that because they would have had to make the tooling for it.
If that's the case, then the feedback needs to be when they are printing, when they are pasting the windows in, they need to check the alignment on them. And I know, but before this collection was even issued to subscribers, they turned around and said, we will not replace a model if there is window misalignment. And okay, that's fair enough. Possibly one of the reasons Eaglemoss went out of business because they were handing out replacements like they were candy.
Right, center, yeah. But then at the same time, it's just like, well,
it should not be an excuse to continue the practice. You should look at rectifying that. If you are paying if you are charging 71 English pounds for a model, you should look at improving the quality.
For $99, I can buy an incredible 3D printed kit.
Yeah.
That I could quite easily paint and assemble myself.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have misaligned windows.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny. Yes, it is a commercially made model. We get that. But other commercially made models don't have these problems. You don't go and buy a commercially made model of the the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier, and that doesn't have misaligned stuff on it. You don't go and buy a model of HMS Victory and the rigging's upside down, or rigging is completely misaligned. So why, or buy a model of, Virgin Atlantic 747? Why are these having this problem?
Yeah.
It's because it's made by the cheapest bidder.
But again,
that's what it boils down to. I have a feeling that because of the sheer quantity that Fanhome are ordering, these, even the XLs, are probably only costing about £12 to £13 each.
But again, why are they not looking at this issue and even discussing potentially?
Because they don't care.
There you go.
That's what it boils down to. They do not care. I had a conversation. I'm not going to mention any names here because I don't want to. I don't want to get anyone into trouble. But I spoke to somebody who works for a Trek publication the other day. Mm-hmm. Right, they're a friend of mine. We were talking about things. I asked if they had read the magazines, and they were like, no, not really. Why? And I kind of explained all the goofs in last month and this month, and he said, no way. And he literally flat out and turned around and said, Fanhome are shite. Because I said I would love to know the stuff of the sources, and it wouldn't have taken much to put on the back, go, information from Memory Alpha, information from XYZ. Yeah. So there were sources to it. But their exact words were, Fanhome are shite. Again, and that's why I think it's come down to these are made by the lowest possible bidder to fulfill a need from a relatively niche fandom. And let's face it, at the time, Master Replicas were not in a situation to build models.
No, they were not.
Now they are. And what I really hope is that once this 20 collection is over, Master Replicas come along, pick it up, or they take over the license and they redo a bunch of these.
Just don't use the same factory.
Or do use the same factory, but
and improve the quality.
You make slightly less margin on it, and you pay more for the raw models.
Yeah, because the models that Master Replicas have made, for Stargate, they're stunning.
Fantastic. They are absolutely. They are 90. I mean, hang on, let me grab the. I've got 302. Oh.
And he's not destroying the rest of them.
No, sorry. It's because it doesn't fit in the stand properly. Let me just give this a quick dusting because this one has not been dusted for a while. And also, I've got cat hair everywhere because the cats are molting. Right? Because this has got lots of tiny little details on it. So there are registries on the front.
Yep.
Which are great. You have all the danger, do not tread, everything else on those. Yep. And they're on raised parts as well. They're not flat, which is great. Yep. Even down to the warning labels on the side of the cockpit.
Yeah.
Which is great. You've got F302. But the one that gets me is when you look at the bottom, not only do you have the warning lines on the inside, the flaps, which are perfectly printed.
Yeah.
You also have the missiles, which again, there's no overspill. They are perfectly printed, even down to the streaking down the side of them.
Yeah.
And that is on a model that is a third of the size of the Enterprise G.
It frustrates me quite a lot when I'm spending so much money and there is so many errors.
It's down to they are a lot of money. They are not They are not that cheap. If we were paying £25 to £30 for the regular size and £50 for the XLs, I would not be mentioning this at all.
Bear it in mind, and this is for £20 cheaper. This is what we used to get. Okay.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
There's a bear with you.
Rawr. So for £20 cheaper, this is the type of model that we used to get, the Battlestar Galactica Raptor, incredibly detailed, and then the mother of all models, the Mark II Viper, with weathering and detail. But then this was 50 English pounds with a magazine.
But is that where Igor Moss's problems were? Is that because they weren't making any money on these models?
Potentially, but to reduce the quality of the collection, of the magazine, of the ships themselves, and then to charge more,
Yeah.
you're going to build resentment. And then that's, people are going to look at that and go, why am I going to spend £70 or $99 on this when the last ones have had misaligned windows, the magazine is streaky, it's got incorrect information in it? Why am I going to spend so much money on that?
Purely from the magazine standpoint, right? If your printer is having problems printing on black pages, change the fucking color of the pages. Simple fix. Yeah. Simple fix. Make all the pages white inside. Easy fix, straight away.
I've got to do some dusting because this.
Oh, I know. They attract dust like nobody's business. I bought one of these a few months ago. It's actually very useful. It's let me pull it.
Is it a compressed air gun?
No, it's not. It is a tiny little vacuum.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
With a little brush on it.
Top tip collectors, a tiny little vacuum, and all you need is a set of makeup brushes that you could probably get for £10 on Amazon.
The only thing I would say that's better than makeup brushes, cheap card detailing brushes, because the bristles are actually they are longer, so they get into all the gaps.
Oh, I have an array. I have different narrow ones and everything.
But it has a bum hole, and you can fill its bum hole, and it turns it into an air compressor.
Wow.
So it's not only is it a vacuum, and because it's got the little brush on the end, actually it's really good for getting into all the little gaps in your models. And then you can take it off and then just blow the air out using it as an air compressor. I think it was like £40 off Amazon. It's USB-C rechargeable. Yeah, I mean, I've even used this on the car, like to blow out when I'm detailing the car, to blow out air from like the grill and stuff. Yeah.
There you go.
To be fair, I'm probably going to buy a new one because the battery is shot in this. Actually, how long have I had this now? 3 years? I think thereabouts. So I need to find a new one. But yeah, something like that is great for cleaning the models because they don't cause any damage. And then, of course, my trusty Lidl detailing brush, which, as you can see, the cats like to chew.
Well, it is a tasty brush, isn't it?
I know, it is a tasty brush.
Yeah. But the model, I mean, I think I'm going to give this is probably going to be my harshest ranking. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah. I was going to give it 3. Because I think that they've either intentionally or unintentionally just ignored any kind of feedback that the community gave to them first time round. It's not like they haven't had time to address it.
It's not like they've been sending out surveys about feedback about this collection.
I did that survey, didn't I? Yeah, I moaned. I just feel like that they're not taking on board anything that anybody is saying, and it's not just us saying this. You got to go and look on the Facebook groups, and that everyone is saying the same thing.
I know you get nitpickers. You're
always going to get the nitpickers. I'm guilty for that sometimes,
but I know probably people are going to sit there and go, "These two mics, they just sit here and complain," and it's not because we enjoy it. It's we are paying every month for this collection.
Yeah. I mean, hang on a second. What are we on? This is the second XL. Hang on. What's an XL? 79.
77, I believe. 77? Something like that.
What's the regular issue? 55? I can't remember now.
Oh no, it's about 40.
Hang on.
£50.
It's only because I've had a couple of they've given me some money off because of problems in the past. So I haven't actually paid full price for them.
It's still a lot of money at a time when people don't have
Star Trek. Build your starships. Subscribe now. Let's have a quick look. It's £55 for a normal size, and an XL is 80.
So it's still a lot of money at a time when people don't have a lot of money, and we are grateful that we are getting these. Do not get us wrong. We love having these.
Sorry. It's 47. 47 because and 71. So hang on. So 47 times 6 is £282. So and then plus so £202 plus 142, so £344 has been spent so far on the collection. 350 quid. 350 quid, and we're already 8 issues in.
And we would probably expect to see some improvement when it comes to magazine quality, some improvement when it comes to the model quality, and we are not seeing that. We are seeing that they have settled on a line of 20 ships, and they are just going to continue doing what they have been doing for the last 8 with the remaining 12 and not take any feedback on board. And that's kind of annoying when they are actively going out asking for feedback.
Yeah. And not actually actioning any of the feedback. And I have, in a few cases where things have been really terrible, actually done a live chat with Fanhome and say, right, I don't want anything. I just want to give you feedback. And I always get, oh, thank you very much. Your feedback is important to us. I'm like, okay, well, you're obviously I'm talking to a brick wall then, because you're not doing anything about it.
We want this collection to be absolutely fantastic. We don't want to sit here and demean Fanhome or slander them or do anything like that. We just want to see a semblance of improvement in the quality. That's all we want to see.
Absolutely. Fanhome, if you are watching, or anyone at Fanhome is watching this, I would love to come on and discuss these points. We would happily have you. And we'll do a special edition, and because I would love to see how these things are made as well.
So would I.
I'd love to see how these things are made. So I think, look, it's a good model. It could be better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good model. Just don't look at it too closely. That's really what it's boiled down to, which is a shame. It's a shame that we've got to say that. I'm hoping that some nice fan somewhere is really good with an airbrush and will offer to repaint these.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there are some other differences. I've also just noticed, looking at the two of them together, the words Enterprise and the Registry are actually a lighter grey than they are on the Titan. The Titan, they're black. They're a light grey on the G. I've just noticed they have changed the colour of the paint slightly on the phasers and the RCS thrusters. But again, the other thing I don't understand is why you're painting the sides of the dish, but you're not going to paint where the RCS thrusters are supposed to be.
What? Where's that?
Well, look, the RCS thruster should be all the way down. It doesn't just stop top and bottom.
It does.
Does it?
Yep, check page 15.
Oh. In that case, then I'll shut up. Sorry.
It's the same on the Connie 2s.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I outbested Mike number 1 when it comes to Starship.
Yes. But it's
ironically, I'm wearing this T-shirt.
You are wearing that T-shirt. That very fetching T-shirt, which is definitely not available at elcarsworkshop.com. There are some really cool ones in the pipeline. I've just finished some designs up this week. There are some really cool T-shirts coming. Hint, hint. I might even make it. I'm also umming and erring about a desk mat. Now my supplier is back in stock. But anywho, but yeah. So look, it's a okay model. It definitely could be better. Fanhome, come on, let's do something about this. Yeah. I mean, you are releasing new collections left, right, and center. There's a new Lord of the Rings collection that's just dropped. I just don't. Is it a case where? I mean, I sat there actually thinking about this, right? A lot of these, and they are, aren't they? Near enough, everything Fanhome do is a build your own, isn't it?
Yes, apart from this collection and the Star Wars starships.
And the movie replicas collection from Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct.
I would be intrigued to know if the Marvel ones have the same problem.
Or the Star Wars starships have the same problem.
It's the Star Wars starships? I didn't know that.
Star Wars starships.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Oh, you see.
Oh, yeah, but they're tiny, though.
They are tiny, but it will be interesting to see if they have the same issues that this collection has.
Snowspeeder, T4A, Razor Crest.
Oh, they've done everything.
Starfighter, AT-AT, Death Star. That slider
if I actually had the money, I would have invested in that, but I have neither the money nor the house to accommodate another wing.
Well, I'm just looking at some close-up photos here, and it does look like that they have. It does not look like they have the same problem.
Hmm.
And is it just because Federation starships are too detailed? Is that what the problem is here?
But that's what Trekkies love. We love those details. That's why they brought on legendary people from the golden age of Star Trek to design the bridges, design these
Millennium
ships.
Falcon, and everything looks spot on. There's no bleeding in. Even Vader's TIE fighter, again, everything looks to be okay. I mean, you've got Poe Dameron's X-Fighter, which actually looks really terrible. The paint on that looks awful.
And that's my favorite X-Wing as well.
It looks awful. The orange stripe is a bit jaggedy. BB-8 is awfully painted. So it could well be that it's just down to that. I mean, I suppose really, the Star Wars stuff is more about texture detail than it is paint jobs.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, because most Star Wars starships are just weathered and beaten up anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and if you pay by PayPal as exclusive, you get the Death Star too. Wow. Every day's a school day. But yeah, everything else really is build your own, isn't it? And I think that's where you can get away with it, because you're not the one actually having to paint stuff. You're just injection molding kits.
Yeah, but 8 issues in, I would have liked to have seen some improvements, but we might be surprised with the next issue, which I believe is the Excelsior 2.
Yes, I want to say.
The USS Excelsior.
Yes, it is the USS Excelsior. It's just a bit. It's just an annoyance, isn't it? It's just annoying that. But then it could be a case that they are building these in a massive batch, and it could be that the first 8 issues were all manufactured at the same time, because they did take a load of them with them to New York Comic Con last year. So is it a case that the first 8 ships were all manufactured at once? It could be that they've taken all the points on board, and issues 9 onwards don't have these problems.
Yeah, or issue 10 onwards, or we will just have to see, unfortunately.
We will have to see. But also, shame on Paramount a little bit on this, because this is Paramount's IP, and they're the ones that have to sign this off. And if they're not even paying that much attention to, not even the little details, but just some of the basics, like even getting a magazine printed right, shame on Paramount.
Yeah, but,
Because ultimately the buck stops with them, because they're the ones that sign it off.
But hey, it's Paramount.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It's Paramount. So, anywho, that's all we have for this episode. You can join us again next month for another episode of the Dry Dock, where we're going to be going through the USS Excelsior 2, which I think they should have just called it the Excelsior Refit. Makes way more sense. But anywho, remember, you can catch up more with us at our website, clonestarpodcast.com, and at our Patreon, patreon.com/clonestar, where your help essentially just keeps the lights on. Until next time, live long and prosper.